Well, obviously, we're excited about the win Saturday and face a good challenge this week. Playing a good football team that's very explosive on offense and playing with a quarterback that I'm sure most people in the country would like to have on their team. He's been very competitive. He's a good leader, makes a lot of plays. In my opinion, has improved considerably in throwing the football down the field is where he's become so much of a threat this year, added with his running ability that he's already had. And he's got a couple guys out there playing wide out that are tall, can make a lot of plays. Running back's effective and opens up the middle of the field because of what they do on offense, throw the ball on the perimeter. And so very, very good offensive football team, and a defensive team that's got, I think it's 7 seniors that are rallying and playing good, and their team concept in all 3 phases has been very good, and obviously that's why they're having a lot of success. So it'll be very important for us to have a great week of practice. Defense needs to run to the football, show up, tackle well in space, and then offensively we have to continue to do same thing that we've done. We have to run the ball effectively and make our throws in certain areas that are important and be good on third down. So got a good week ahead of us, and just looking forward to practice and getting started tomorrow.
There were some big defensive plays last Saturday. I thought Johnny Thomas was outstanding.
Johnny was our player of the game on defense and made a number of tackles. He's shown a lot of leadership in the last month, and obviously the interception and able to run the ball in for a touchdown was a big play. Made a couple nice moves there, and Johnny's a returner for us, so it was a good sign when he had the ball in his hand.
He made a great play downing the ball inside the 1 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
Well, there was 2 plays that that my wife had mentioned when she called me on the way home on the bus. One was the play that Johnny made, that in her opinion was as good a play as she saw that day, and then the second one was the defense not committing a penalty when we returned the interception for a touchdown. So that was a really good play. Nice balancing act there and tossing the ball back and downing it. And I had said this, and you guys had obviously probably already put it out there, but Quinn was the MVP of that game with what he was able to do for us.
Mike, I don't know if this surprised you. A number of guys got home, and they got home in time, and they took a head start on looking at Baylor. A lot of guys tuned into that Baylor-Texas game. You like it when you hear your guys are working ahead a little bit like that, and they're at least curious about the next opponent?
I think they're doing much better than they were a month ago. There was a period of time there where I had some concerns about the young guys and whether they were really putting in the work that they need to in order to have success on Saturday. I think the Nebraska game was a wake-up call for them. Try to do the best we can as a staff to instill the importance of preparation each week. But last week's preparation was really good, and the meetings we had Sunday yesterday were good, and their attitude's been good, so I think they're buying in.
Coach, talk about Ori. Lemony goes down for a little bit last week, still comes back and leads the team in tackles. Just seems each week he's just continuously putting it up for you guys.
Well, Ori's definitely been a really good leader for us. He's been very physical. He's run well sideline to sideline. Did not play particularly well against Nebraska, so I think he got a wake-up call there himself. And he got banged up a little bit in the Kansas State game, but we were able to get him back after a few plays, and then he continued to play well the rest of the game. But his leadership qualities have been really good for our football team.
Mike, with the questions that you guys had, or uncertainties at least at the beginning of the season and the history that Baylor has, are you a little surprised that here on the first weekend of November that you guys are playing for first place in the Big 12 South?
Well, I don't know that anything surprises me anymore. The one thing that I've mentioned over the last few years is that there's a lot of parity in college football, and it's here to stay. And maybe this year is pretty evident the way it's going to be. It's like guys use the width of the field, and they're skilled players that can make plays, and you get quarterbacks that can throw it around and run. Makes a big difference compared to years ago when the traditional football game was played in between the hash marks. So the team that had the best recruits and the bigger and stronger guys over a period of years won the games. Well, those days are out the window. Everybody's got a fighting chance because people have learned to use the width of the field.
Like Brandon Whedon said, he thinks his team eats and breathes and cares about football more than any team he's been on since he's been here. He didn't see that before. If you agree, why do you think that is?
Well, he would be a better barometer for that than me because he's with them all the time. The teams we've had here the last few years really enjoyed each other and were very talented. I did mention to the team yesterday that this football team's not as talented as the team we had last year, and going into the 9th week. But that doesn't always mean that you can't win football games. And so I'm not sure why that is. I would say that it has to start with the assistant coaches and their ability to rally the team. Rob Glass is tremendous in strength conditioning, and our academic support have a great relationship with our players, and they're the ones that we spend a lot of time with, and I would say that's probably a contributing factor.
Coach, do you feel like this Baylor offense and Robert Griffin in general might be the best the Cowboys have played this season? Or if not, Griffin being the best quarterback they've played this year?
Yeah, it's hard to really gauge who's the best because we've played some offenses that are good, and obviously Nebraska run up some big numbers on us, and they've had success, and Martinez is playing good. But you can't take anything away from what Baylor's able to accomplish consistently each week. You know, there's teams across the country over the last few years that'll run up some big numbers on a week or two or three, but they've consistently run up big numbers and scored points. And so you have to give credit where it's due. I mean, for whatever reason, they're having a lot of success, and they're playing well, and they got good plays, and so it'll be a real challenge for us. And the good news is I don't think our players will fail in any area to try to get prepared for this game. All you got to do is turn the tape on.
Mike, what would you say has been the biggest key to the success you guys have had offensively in the red zone this year?
Inside the 20?
Yeah.
Oh, one thing is being able to run the ball. You know, we don't play smash mouth football, but we've been able to run the ball somewhat effective. And then Brandon's had the capability of throwing fades, and we've had wideouts that would go up and get them. You know, even Saturday, Mike Harrison went up and got one for us. So those two things, and I guess the third would be our fullback play with Bryant Ward and what he does, and he gives us an edge down there with his ability to block.